So my name is Louise Yexley and I run Women in Business Networking in Hertfordshire and Bedfordshire. So I have 9 groups. I also have a national online group and I've been in WIBN forever. It feels like that. I originally joined as a member when the Hitching group was launching. And I ran a business and I thought, oh, I'll just go along and see what it's like. And I joined. And that was actually nearly 16 years ago now. So like I say, I've been in WIBN for almost forever. So I had just started another business, a marketing business, which is also a franchise. And I Googled networking in Hitchin, which was where my business was. And there happened to be a Women in Business networking group launching the following month. And I thought, it's fate. So I decided to go along and was extremely nervous. And there were so many women in the group with all sorts of different businesses that I joined straight away. Because of what I did with a marketing company, I met lots of businesses, so I was able to bring a lot of visitors along. So I was the golden girl. And the lady that ran the particular group decided that she was going to move on and asked me if I would take over from her. And I just thought, yes, I mean, it's fine. I can handle this alongside my other business. And that's what I did. I became the group leader then. And it wasn't until about 3 or 4 years later, after I'd become a group leader for a number of other groups, that I decided to actually become a franchisee and make it part of my business. And now it's my full-time business. This is all I do, and I love it. Obviously, pandemic hit us. We all went completely online, which was something that was, unheard of. And we did that for such a long time that when we started to consider coming back, my groups were a bit, oh, I'm not sure really. So we decided to do a bit of a split. So my local groups are a mixture of online and offline, mainly face-to-face, but a couple of offline groups. And when WIBN said, look, we're going to be launching some national groups, I thought, actually, there will be some people that this will be absolutely amazing for. And, if you are not bound by geography in terms of what you do, then a national group is fantastic because you get to meet people from all parts of the country. As well as some overseas countries as well, so not just the UK. It's amazing. In my particular group, I have a lady from Ireland who is extremely bubbly, and it's really nice to see. I've also met some people from Spain, a lady from who works mainly from Israel, and another lady who's in France as well. So with the national groups that we've got, it's great because you can meet other people from other groups as well as different countries as well. With a local group, obviously we are meeting mainly face-to-face, which I think a lot of people need that now. They want to come back face-to-face, having spent so long on Zoom. In terms of the structures of the meetings of a face-to-face group and a national group, the structure is very much the same in terms of, we do our minute pitches, we have a business topic, we will have a member showcase, we will talk about something that's relevant at the time, and we will also do our Let's Talk Business part of the section. The face-to-face meetings have food, which, is nice, but the actual structure is very similar. The thing that I think differentiates the national groups is that because we have a number of them, you are able, as part of your membership, to go and visit the other national groups as long as your profession isn't locked out. And we also run a regular coffee lounge that the national members can come together and meet each other as well. So there's a bit more flexibility from that point of view. But with the local groups, when we are face-to-face, that's great. But also when you're online, so 1 month we'll be online, obviously we can have visitors from around the country as well. So it kind of works both ways. It can be really daunting. You know, I've met so many business women over the years. A lot of them are just starting out, and the thought of going to a networking event absolutely frightens the life out of them. It's either turning up or walking through the door, having to do their 60-second pitch can be really, really daunting. So I always say to these people, just come along with an open mind and treat it as if you're just coming along for a chat with somebody like your next door neighbour or your best friend. Find out about them. Don't come in a selling mode, because that's not what it's about. Networking is about building up relationships, and that takes time. And obviously you're coming into a group with some members that, I mean, some of my members have been members for 10 to 15 years, so they've been members for a long time. But just be open-minded. Come and, you know, comment on the weather, comment on their shoes, you know, anything to make a conversation. And then you'll start to talk about your businesses when the time is right. So the hardest part, I think, is walking through the door, making the commitment to come along. That's the worst part. Back in 1984, I featured in the Christmas edition of the Jackie Annual. I'm not going to show you it, but there you go. I was inside on a double-page spread. There you go. I was 17, 17. And I used to love the Jackie magazine that came out. And obviously every year they did a Christmas annual. And I must have written off to say, can I do a makeover? And they invited me down to London, and I went and had, I'll show you the photographs, but I went and had a makeover. Not sure that I'm particularly proud of what I looked like before. And then they took photographs. So this is it. I think the hairdresser didn't come along on that day, and they didn't know what to do, so they just brushed it up. But there you go. That was me.